Good evening, everyone. It has now been about 24 hours since the update launched, and we're just super excited for this because now there's yet another thing we can start grinding. So for any free-to-play player or just in general very active players, this one is really nice, and it can give us a slight edge and reward us for the actual amount of time we put into the game. And how this works is that we now have these, basically it's like equipment gems, so you can see them in your gem vault here, that whenever you kill gnomes, they now drop these that you can then equip onto your equipment. And yeah, you have 4 slots, and as you can see, they're kind of limited for specific types. So you can see in an basically in a weapon you have attack gems and defense gems. In, say, a helmet, you only have defense gems. In the same for a chest, there's defense gems, and then you have support gems here for the is it called a miscellaneous whatever this one is called. Basically the support item. And yeah, so in this video we are gonna dive a little bit into how to basically grind it, which is the more effective way. And to start out, it's really something we have to grind a lot of. So you can see you have 4 slots, and you basically have different levels of them. So if you take a look at my this is my Richard here. He only has 2 equipped, and then you can see in my gem vault I have 3 more. But what you could decide to do is, of course, you can compose them to a higher level graded. So if we just let's see where that one was, defense gems here. So you have it here, my physical defense. I can spend 3 to give it 9 more attribute points, basically. So have this in mind, that in my case here, so if we take a look, that I only have 2 equipped. So having 2 empty, it actually is better for me to equip 2 of these. This would give me 30 physical defense, rather than using the last one I still have in my gem vault and basically use that to upgrade into a third. So I'm going to do it now just for an example. But this is just to show that you shouldn't always just rush basically the composing of these. You should make sure to always have 4 equipped. Of course, it should be like the highest value you have, but so in this case now I have an empty slot, and I only have 24 physical defense rather than the 30 I would have had I equipped 2. So yeah, this just have in mind that it makes it quite easy for you to progress here, because you don't have to think so much about it. You just keep having the highest graded equipped that you can, of course, but then you just slowly upgrade on top of what you already have. So let's see if we can we maybe have a look at one of my other immortals here, what he has. So if we take a look at Khan, then you can see here that I as well has 4 gems equipped, and this gives me a total of 60 physical attack, rather than exactly having composed 3 of these into 1, and I would have been left with 2 empty ones. Have in mind, you should focus on a certain type of attribute. Like my Khan is pretty much only physical attack damage, hence I do not equip magical attacks. Even though I could compose some, then I do still prioritize having physical attacks at lower levels rather than a higher level, and then filling out gaps with magical attacks. So yeah, that was just the basics of the actual attributes that we can get now. And then moving forward, of course, some of you probably already know that we get them through grinding gnomes. And what I'm going to show you here is just that what you should consider when grinding them is to you can actually see it already here, that for instance a level 30 Trent here is just a regular drops. But once you move up to a level 31, that's where you see they suddenly appear on the possible drops. So yeah, I'm just quickly gonna speed this up a bit for you, I think. So yeah, you can see that a level 31, despite showing that there's a good chance of it dropping, it actually there's chances of not dropping it at all. We can move up to, say, a level 39. I think it's 35 actually, it splits perhaps. We will try and see here. So yeah, 35 still just drops 1. Then we jump all the way up to 39. And then what do we have here? So you see at 39 you actually now can get 2 drops. So yeah, you have this kind of like optimization process where yeah, you might take a bit heavier losses the higher you go, but you suddenly start getting double the drop chance compared to, say, 35. Yeah, you might be probably, this needs some testing, have in mind, but there's probably a higher chance of this dropping versus a level 31. But then moreover, as you go up to 39, suddenly you can get 2 drops. So think of it as the percentage drop chance increase to beyond 100%. Moving along, then you can actually go even further. This is where, again, if you already have looked into best level, like optimizing your gnome farming, you shouldn't go beyond level 40 as the difficulty increases dramatically. Your losses increases because the airships suddenly become the fire ships. That's why I can just quickly give you the spoiler that Rogue 39, it's the easiest gnome to farm for like basically the optimum value, because it's a healing airship. For one, you can often kill it, like you can counter the healing, but also that's a prolonged effect, so you don't take any losses and you can actually nuke it down just shortly after it prompts the healing. But yeah, as you can see, Rogue 45 suddenly gives 3 of these, but as you saw as well, death rate now climbed from, I think I had a 66 death rate and 312 seriously wounded. It soared dramatically now with like 1000%, up to 700 deaths, 3169 enemies seriously wounded. So yeah, really have this in mind that sure, if you really just want to grind this as fast as possible, don't matter the cost of healing and whatnot, then sure, you can go ahead and do that. But what I would recommend is that you just use your daily farmings. So just save up your action points in a sense, like what I'm doing on this account I have here, that I really have quite a few action points available to me, but I'm saving them because what's more interesting is that if we say we dive onto a server 233 here, because they have the double rewards, that it doesn't specify it here, but really during the event, kill Trent, Barkan and rogues of any level, drop rewards will be ×2. And the beautiful thing here is that this applies to these equipment gems. So, I mean, this account is significantly weaker than my other one, so I'm just going to go ahead and then if we just try, I'm a bit lower level on this account, so if we just try Rogue 31, I'm gonna see what the drop rate on that will now be, since we have the double reward event. And as you can see, then we get 2 gems. So yeah, use your daily action point recovery rate fully, of course, and grind, but definitely save your AP for this event. And then yeah, once the first time it comes around, I just recommend using it all up, so you can quickly boost your immortals and stay on top of competition that way. Have in mind also, let me just double check this one before we finish up the video, that I do believe that it is indeed this one, so the Glorious Return. Let's just try to reset that one to confirm this. Let's see. Yes, so yeah, there you see that now it suddenly dropped 2 of these magical defense. We still get 1 extra for the double reward event. So yeah, there you have it, guys. These are like probably the best practices of how to grind it. So definitely stick to Rogue 34 if you can clear that one to get the healing airship. Then 39 becomes the optimum. Of course, if you are kind of wailing out there, can just take heavy losses. Don't mind the resource cost for healing and training new troops, then of course go higher as you can get a triple drop rate. But yeah, like and subscribe, guys. See you around. Bye bye.